If you want to achieve success within this world, you must have discipline. Here's the thing, whether it's within your life or within business, I guarantee that you procrastinate. I guarantee that you look for all these other different reasons or things not to do the thing that you know you must get done every single day. And it's crushing you. It's absolutely preventing you from living your best life. It's absolutely preventing you from building that business, writing that book, creating those things that you say that you want to create each and every single day. Look, here's the deal. You must get laser focused on the most important thing that you must get done every single day and have the discipline to follow through, to take action. And follow through on those things that you know that you must get done instead of looking for reasons, otherwise commonly known as excuses, on why you can't get things done. I hear it all the time. I hear people telling me, Terry, I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have resources. I don't have all the right information. I don't have all the tools or the techniques or whatever the case may be. And that's garbage. That is 100% absolute garbage. Here's the deal. If you just take a little bit of time out of your day, in other words, having the discipline to just carve out a little bit of time within your day to plan properly and take a look at that one thing that you want to achieve, I guarantee that you will achieve results. Now, whether those results are big, small, positive, or negative, keep in mind they are in fact results. See, here's the deal. People often, they get so overwhelmed. Honestly, they get overwhelmed about this overall big, gigantic thing that you want to create. And I understand that. I've got big things that I want to create. I've got massive things that I want to do. And I want to change the world with a lot of different things. But you know what? If I think about that entire thing, I'm not going to achieve that. I'm going to get overwhelmed with it. So I have to break it down into smaller chunks, little bitty things that I can achieve along the way and have the discipline to take action on those things, those most important things. Having the discipline to follow through on the smaller things will continue to allow you to have that momentum and that motivation to do those bigger things. And over time, you will achieve those bigger things. Let me share a story with you. I remember years ago, I used to have these massive to-do lists. I'm talking about to-do lists that was 2 and 3 pages long, and each one of those pages had 25 things on there that I had to do. And it was overwhelming. I would literally look at this list of 25 things, 50 things, 75 things, and I was like, oh my God, where do I begin? What do I do? And I just never would follow through on anything, and I would procrastinate, I would get overwhelmed, I would get stressed out, I would have high anxiety, and I would never take any action on anything. It was like throwing darts at a dartboard. It was like throwing spaghetti on a wall to see what sticks. And at the end of the day, the only thing that I was left with was the mess to clean up. That was it. That was it. And I didn't have the discipline to follow through on it because I was overwhelmed. I didn't have the discipline to take one little bitty tiny action because I was seeing all these big things instead of the one little thing that I could do right now, the one little thing that I could do tomorrow, that one little thing that I could do the next day, and so on and so on. And I didn't like those to-do lists because I always felt like I had something to do. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're trying to accomplish something, you will have things to do. But I hear it. I hear you. I hear you. I know exactly what you're saying. It's like, I've got all these things to do, but where do I begin? Well, begin with one thing. Just start. Get started. And you write down those tasks. You write down those things that you want to get done. That's great. That's a start. But you have to take action on something in order to get a result. Because looking at this big thing, looking at all of these things, it's going to overwhelm you, but you have to get started. You must get started. Otherwise, you're not going to achieve anything at all. You're not going to get that result. It's better to fail fast. It is. It's better to fail fast than never taking any action and not really knowing what the possibilities or the outcomes could be. So I would much rather take an action, fail fast, and then I can figure out what went right. I can figure out what needs improvement. I can modify, tweak, or change and continue taking action. And it takes discipline to follow through on that little framework that I shared with you right there. And that's exactly what that is. It's a little framework. And it gets me away from that to-do list. It gets me away from all these big things. So here's what I did. I created my bottom line upfront planner just for that. because it helps me stay laser focused. Now, here's what ends up on that bottom line up front. Don't get me wrong, I still have a to-do list. I still have a list of things. Here's my goals, here's my dreams, here's my hopes, here's my wishes, here's all of these things that I want to do. And that's great. Those things have not happened yet. Those things have not happened yet. Those are still goals. Those are still dreams. Here's what I want. I want to accomplish those, but what I want is better habits. And it takes discipline to establish those better habits. And that's why I created that bottom line up front planner, because it gives me the habit of looking at that one thing every single day. Here's the one thing that I must get done today. My bottom line up front. This is it. This is the one thing I must get done today in order to consider the day a success. And then I have some tasks. Here's action items, not things to do. These are action items. I must get these things done. See, there's a different connotation with that. There's a different way of looking at that. It sounds different when you say, oh, look at all these things that I have to do. It sounds overwhelming, but you say, you know what? I must get this done. This is an action item. It sounds stronger. And when you use stronger languaging within the things that you're doing every single day, you will see the difference between the things that you must do and the things that you're complaining about that you have to do. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that people are out there complaining about all of the things that they have to do instead of clearly identifying the thing or things that you must do. And that's the reason why it's important to filter out those things to the most important thing, otherwise commonly known as the bottom line up front. And it takes the discipline to do that. It takes discipline to filter things. It truly does. And here's why. Because so many people are caught up in all of the other things that are going out within the world, the news, social media, all these different things that are happening that has absolutely nothing to do with you, that has absolutely nothing to do with your life, with your business, with the thing that you're doing, with the book that you're writing, with the course that you're creating, with the things that you're trying to do to get better within your life, like reading books, taking courses, networking with other people. You're distracted. You're 100% distracted. And it takes discipline to filter those distractions so that you can focus. You can gain laser focus on the thing that you must get done each and every day. Otherwise, commonly known as your bottom line up front. So you write down that bottom line up front. You figure out the action items that it takes to get that bottom line up front done. And then you figure out some things like, okay, who can I connect with today that can help me solve this problem, or not necessarily solve the problem, but take action on this task, because sometimes the who is more important than the what. I truly mean that. Sometimes the who is more important than the what, because if you did everything, you're working in your business instead of on your business. You're really kind of working in your life instead of working on your life. So sometimes you may have to reach out. You may have to ask for a helping hand. You're going to need that help somewhere, some way along the time. I have people that help me out and I love it. It takes some of that load, some of that burden off of me. Now, I also clearly identify the resources that I'm going to need. And resources, there could be a lot of different resources. Could be time, could be location, could be money, it could be things, items. It's the logistical support that's going to accomplish that bottom line up front. Now, what I do throughout the day is I take little pauses, little inventory pauses, and I take inventory. How's this thing going? Am I on track? Am I off track? What have I accomplished? What can I modify, tweak, or change and continue taking action? And I do these little inventory breaks throughout the day, and that allows me to make sure, a little progress check. It allows me to see where I'm at and if I need to change direction or am I still on track? Now, here's the thing, and this is where it really gets important. After you've accomplished that bottom line up front, that thing for today, what you want to do is you want to figure out, you want to conduct an end of day inventory, otherwise commonly known as an after action review, a review of the things that you did throughout the day that achieved that bottom line up front. And here's how you do that. You figure out, you write down on a piece of paper what was supposed to happen. And then you write down below that what did happen, because sometimes that can be confusing. Sometimes that could be absolutely different. Sometimes what was supposed to happen and what did happen could be two different things. And it could generate ideas towards other things that can happen. So I'm always taking note of that. I'm always taking inventory of that. I'm always analyzing what was supposed to happen, what did happen. And if there is a conflict or if there's an opportunity, then I write down possibilities of what can happen, what could happen. And then maybe I'll park that over here off to the side on future things to do. Now, once you figure out what was supposed to happen, what did happen, what you want to figure out is you want to draw a line down the middle of the piece of paper. If you have a blank piece of paper, or if you have my bottom line up front, I have it clearly defined right in there for you on how you can do that at the end of the day. But what you want to do is you want to put on the left-hand side of that line, what went right? These are the things that went right. Those things right there, you can put within your toolkit because guess what? They were successful. They went right. You can put that back in your toolkit and continue to take action on future things because they went right. They were successful. Now, on the right-hand side of the piece of paper, here's what you want to do. I never put down what went wrong. I always keep it in a positive frame of mind, and I say what needs improvement because I can take action on those things that need improvement. But if I identified what went wrong, I might have the wrong attitude, get defeated, quit, give up, and never take action on that. But I'm like, okay, here's an opportunity. These things need improvement, and this is how I can improve them. How can I improve them? I modify, tweak, change, and I continue taking action on those things that need improvement. And what the goal is here is to take all of those things that need improvement and move them over into the successful category. The things that are going right, ultimately until I achieve the results that I am after. The end result. And when I get everything out of the category of needs improvement over to success or accomplished or things that went right, I'm done. I'm done with that task. I'm done with that bottom line up front, and I can move on to the next thing. Now, here's the interesting part about that. Every day, you can put down the same bottom line up front if you have not achieved it. If a task is going to take, or a bottom line up front, or a task, whatever label you want to put on that, if it takes more than one day, fantastic. It takes 2 days, it takes 3 days, it takes a week to accomplish that. That means for 2-3 days a week, your bottom line up front is that task until it gets complete. I see it too often. People rotate from task to task. They go from thing to thing, and it's draining. You lose energy, you lose time, you lose resources, you lose momentum. And that's the wrong thing to do. So look, here's the deal. If you want to achieve success within this life, within your business, you must have the discipline to have a plan, have a framework, and the discipline to follow through on that every single day. It takes commitment. You know, people ask me, Terry, why are you so motivated? Why are you so inspired? I'm not. There's days where I'm not. I can tell you this. There's days where I just don't feel like doing anything. But you know what the difference is? The difference is I'm committed. I show up so I can show out. I speak up so that I can speak out. And I'm always creating. I'm always consuming, I'm always creating, I'm always contributing, and I'm always collaborating. The 4 C's. And you have to have those systems. You have to have those frameworks. You have to have, let me rephrase that. You must have those things within your life or your business if you want to be successful. And the discipline to follow through on those things. So hopefully that was helpful, and if you did find that helpful, once again, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, let me know what was the most valuable takeaway within this video right here. And if you do want a copy of my Bottom Line Upfront Planner, it's over on my website, terrywadethompson.com. You'll see all of the details on over there. And I also have another way in which you can get that. So it's available on Amazon. You can purchase it on Amazon. Or you can go to my website, terrywadethompson.com, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see it. It's bluffplanner.com. You'll see all the details right there on bluffplanner.com on how you can get the digital version of it. You know, if that's something that you want, you can print out your own copies of it and follow the process. Each and every day, take action, have the discipline to put that framework in place, put that plan in place. Look, here's the deal. I'm wishing you continued success. I want you to achieve success. But I also want you to have the discipline to follow through. And when you have a right framework and the right support group, you will take action. And I want to be there for you. I want to help you out to achieve your success. So once again, if that resonates with you, head on over to my website, terrywadethompson.com. or bluffplanner.com. Specifically, if you want the Bluff Planner, you'll see all of the details right there. And go get that thing. You will not regret it. Have the discipline to follow through, and I'll see you in the next video.